Hi there, Johnny Daniel, independent demonstrator with Stampin' Up. Thank you for waiting for me. Sorry I'm a couple minutes late. Been doing some training on some things that are changing with Stampin' Up. Some great things, but it takes time. So, like I said, thank you for waiting for me. So without anything else, we are going to be creating and going to the beach tonight, as well as enjoying a touch of fall. Now, I say this in the high desert when it has been 111. So I'm not joking, kind of, but it is what it is. It has been hot. So let's see. What else do you need to know? You're in the right place. We're going to get to creating tonight. Without anything else, let's get going, shall we? And we'll get to talking while we create. So hold on. Let me put you down. So if you've joined me tonight, please comment and say hello. I'm going to get things lined up and ready to go for ya. Yes, I aim, but I often miss because when it swings, things happen and it's okay. So let's see here. Let's see where I'm at, besides 29 palms. So, all right, so let's see. So we've got 2 cards for you tonight. I'm going to get set up on Facebook and hopefully you can see me just fine. Hello. And we should be off to the races, as they say. And good. So I see a couple of people are on. Things are moving. Things are working. So that's always a good thing. Hi, Lise. How are you, hun? Oh, I need to turn this off. Woohoo! Like I said, been doing trainings off and on all day, so hi Iris, how are you, honey? So I've been doing trainings off and on all day, which means I'm a little discombobulated, but I'm okay. So it is what it is. All right, so this is the shortened, simplified version, which we're going to go with from now on. So if you're wondering, look back a couple weeks ago and you'll understand. But we're not doing Create With Me tonight. We are doing it by Monday. So I'll share with you as we go the technique that I'm going to ask you to duplicate. And then from there, I will pin the post on the page and you will be able to create, comment, know the host code, no problem. You have until Monday at 7:30 to do this, to be able to get a $5 off coupon for any class that you're paying $15 for, and it'll be good for 30 days. I have sent the coupons out, I believe it was yesterday, for last week's. So I mailed those out. I aim to make the cards on Monday and have it out in the mail Tuesday. So, because I have a good indicator by Monday afternoon of how many people are commenting. So, so for tonight, let's see. What else do I need to tell you? Hi, Serene. How are you, hun? Maybe you shouldn't answer that. I know you're training for school right now. I love you. So if you have bonus days coupons and you lost the email, please let me know. I will gladly get it resent. And then before I begin with anything else, my event calendar in my website, stampingwithjohnny.com, if you click on current events, that is up through November. I do have a couple things I need to add because I have a couple new hosts. Let's see. If you haven't got your mini catalog, please let me know. Happy to get you one. What else? Paper Pumpkin this month has 20 Cracker Jack box with an autumn theme, Thanksgiving theme, or Halloween theme. You could do all 3, or there's enough to do all of only one of the themes. Let's see. I think that's enough for right now. What do you think? I think. So, I did have to get one more sample. All right, so for tonight, we are creating a couple things, okay? So this is the one that will be part of the project for you to create. This one will not, okay? And the main reason I say will not is because watercolor paper is on back order right now. So if you don't have what it takes in your cabinet right now, you're not going to be able to get it because it's not not available, unfortunately. So this is the technique we're going to be doing tonight for the Create With Me portion through Monday. And we are talking about borders, and we are talking about coordinating the designer series paper instead of using ribbon. Okay, so that's the big ticket right there. So basically you're going to need to find some designer series paper that's at least about this wide and about that long, and you will be fine. Okay, the rest of it is card bases and all that kind of stuff. So the other one, and I'm going to have to tag Jody in this, is for Jody because she asked me how to do landscape, watercolor landscape. So you're welcome, hun. I'm all about clarification. If I'm ever unclear, please let me know. There are times where I know what I'm talking about, but somebody else doesn't. So, you know, it's what it is. And I will get through. And if I do not make myself clear, I will get out the Legos and build it for ya. No problem. Don't quote me on that directly, but hey. All right, so this is a landscape that we have done. This is actually a white piece of watercolor paper. So that is something we are going to be creating together tonight. Let's see here. What else do I have for you? All right, so before we begin, I got to tell you something. So all these trainings and all this stuff going on, right? So we have a new starter kit promotion, and I know you're rolling your eyes going, didn't we just finish the kits? Yes, we did, but this one's important because there's a bonus to it. September 1st through 30th, not only do you do the $99 sign up, not only is there no negative if you drop, not only is there a $300 per quarter quota, but that quarter, if you sign up September, will not finish until December, so you'll have an extra month depending on what part of September you sign up. You get the $125 of products, you get business stuff, you get catalog stuff. You don't pay shipping, so you pay like $107 total because you can't get away from the tax, unfortunately. But look at this bonus kit they're giving you. It's called Get and Go Starter Kit Promotion. So you will get 8 pre-cut paper packs to make 8 cards. So basically you'll get 8 pieces of cardstock, pre-cut, scored, ready to go, card bases of Granny Apple Green, this kind of green up here, and the Coastal Cabana, which is this teal color, not the lighter blue, running through. And then look at this, Queen Anne's Lace Stamp Set, So Much Love Stamp Set, and Rhinestone Basic Jewels. I know you guys know what the rhinestones look like because, well, hello, they're rhinestones, right? Okay, but look at this. So Much Love it is 6 cling stamp sets, so it's not even the photopolymer. That's cool. It's a $20 value, so shipped out the door, ready to go and all that, it's almost $25. But you've got 2 roses, you got some speckles here for you, so much love for you, you made my day. I don't know about you, but I'd probably be saying you made my day quite a bit, because a lot of people do. And then on the other side of this is the Queen Anne's Lace. So you've got a 2-step of, is that papyrus? I'm trying to remember what kind of flower that is. I want to say that's papyrus. Celebrating all the wonderful things about you, and I'll be right by your side. I know you have the strength to get through this, Serene, with your teaching right now. Hello, friend. Thanks and best wishes. So, I didn't add all that up, but let's see. That's $17, and this is $20. So we're looking at $25. Another $45, and then the cardstock. So you're looking at about a $45, no, sorry, over a $50 bonus. So with the rhinestones, I forgot about those. So, all right, I'm done. We're good for that. All right, so for tonight, okay, the two stamp sets I'm using, if you want to be exact, are Timeless Tropical and Beautiful Autumn. The Beautiful Autumn, I'm actually using the bundle with the punches as well, but hey, you know, we'll be exact, right? Okay, so for the demonstration portion, I need to move some stuff. We have a card base. Thick Whisper White to be exact, cut at 4 1/4 by 11, scored at 5 1/2, folded in half with the valley side on the outside, and the mountains we're gonna hide and put on the inside. All right. Then I have a piece of Night of Navy. Now this is my outer mat, using my Stampin' Seal here. This is my outer mat. This is cut at 5 1/4 by 4, and I got a little bit of shadow because of the time of day. Our days are getting shorter, aren't they? I don't know if I'm fond of that, but hey, it is what it is. So 5 1/4 by 4, and then I have a piece of regular Whisper White. And this is cut at 5 by 3 3/4. Hey, by the way, in the sample card, this was embossed, by the way. So, whatever. No problem. Okay, and then I've got a piece of, is this Coastal Cabana or Bermuda Bay? Bermuda Bay. Could never remember which one's the darker one. Bermuda Bay. And Bermuda Bay is cut at 4 1/2 by 3. So there we go. All right, so I have my watercolor that I am not gluing down right now because this is what we are using. I'm looking for my silicone, which is stacked right in front of my face. So watercolor paper, a little bit more porous, won't piddle on you like one of those sweaters. So you want to use this if you're doing a lot of watercolor painting. If you do not have this, a substitute for it would be the Shimmer White. That's a close one. You like dark mornings? I do not like dark mornings. I like the sun to wake me up. I have a hard time waking up in the winter. So, so shimmery white or watercolor paper is what you can use. I've moved my water painters over here. What else do I need, guys? Oh yeah, a whole bunch of clear blocks. Hello. Let me get. So I've got, if you're keeping track, I've got D, C, and H. Couldn't remember that one, sorry. So I've got the long skinny one, the medium size one, and the next one up. For those of you that are not so technical. Okay, so I've got, for colors, I've got Old Olive. Okay, that's gonna be for my trees. I've got Mango Melody. That's gonna be my sun. I've got Bermuda Bay. And Bermuda Bay is going to be my ocean because it's got a touch of green to it. I don't know about you, but Pacific Ocean, it's not always blue. It's a lot of green. And then last but not least, my crumb cake, and that's the sand where my palm tree is gonna come out. Okay? So yes, I only have 3 blocks, so hold on. I gotta get one more. Okay. Okay, there we go. All right, so water painters, these are new. So we've got a small tip. Can you see that? I hope so. Okay. We've got a medium tip. I got those backwards in my case. Hold up. As you can see, this is the small, that's the medium. I'm so sorry about that. I put them in backwards. Small goes first. There we go. All right, so another thing to note before I go to the last one, Joel was laughing at me, my hubby was laughing at me, because I was like, oh my gosh, these do not unscrew. The manufacturer put them on so tight. Yeah, so when you're a right-hander and you're holding this, if it unscrewed like it normally would, guess what? Eventually you'd have water all over the place because it would naturally unscrew as you're holding it, right? So they were brilliant and I was not. And it unscrews opposite, so that way traditional right-handers, because most people are, do not unscrew their pen and get water all over their project. So when you're tightening down, you're gonna go to the right instead of, yeah, I know it's backwards, but there's a reason why. Okay, so there you go. Last but not least is our broad paintbrush one. This is the one I'm going to be using tonight. Evidently didn't rinse it out very well, but hey, it's okay. So I've got water in this one. If you're wondering, if you want a broader paintbrush, this little cap comes off and makes it very, very broad. And then to get it back on, you just slide it through, hope for the best, catch all the bristles, right? In theory. And if you do it fast, it's better, right? I don't know. All right, so there you go. Okay. So I have all these clear blocks. Think of them as palettes, like artist palettes, okay? So I'm going to start with my crumb cake here. My crumb cake, I'm going to use a middle size block, medium size block, because I'm not using a ton of that color. Not a ton, okay? So I'm doing broad strokes, broad strokes, and I am squeezing my barrel here. Hopefully this is on camera still. Yep, should be. So squeezing my barrel here and drip, 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 about 3-4 drips, and I am making my own watercolor. Okay, so I am having my palm trees connect at the bottom, correct? So I'm going to have my dirt, for lack of better terms, my sand, right at the bottom. If you want less control and you want it to be much more watercolor and much more float, prime your whole entire paper with a clear thing of water, and then instead of the ink going into the paper, it will float on top of the water. So just FYI for you, if you happen to want a much more watercolor kind of look. Okay, so I'm just going to do that. All right, so now I am grabbing my Bermuda Bay, and I'm running out of room because I don't want to hit my camera. Okay, so I'm going to grab my Bermuda Bay, and I'm doing my drip, drip, drip again. If you are super careful, you'll want to rinse your brush in between to get all of the brown off and all that kind of stuff. But honestly, not that important to me. So, all right, so I'm going to do my blue. Okay. And then I want my sky to be a tiny bit lighter, so I'm going to drip a tiny bit more. Okay, because I want my color to be lighter up here. And then I'm going to leave room for my Mango Melody or my sun. Stamp, stamp, stamp. Okay, because I don't want a green sun. I don't want it to be blue and yellow makes green, right? So I am making sure that I have left some room for my yellow to be true yellow and not a green. Okay, So I've got my Mango Melody, I'm doing my water, and I want it to be a tiny bit darker. So I am just running that here. And that is what my landscape looks like. Now, if you want to come back through and lighten this up with a tiny bit of chalk marker, if you want to come back and lighten it up with a tiny bit of watercolor pencil after it's dry to do some cloud formations and that kind of stuff, you're more than welcome to. But I'm going for simple tonight. And for me, that is done. Where's my Fran? Right? Fran was my queen of, it may not be done or it may not be perfect, but it is done. So I'm going to leave this to the side to dry, and we will stamp the palm tree in a couple minutes. No problem at all. Okay? Except I'm trying to figure out where to put ink pads because I'm always seem to be running out of room. So, all right, so I'm going to find my cap to this guy. I'm going to put it down here. There we go. And I'm going to put it to the side. Hopefully remember to rinse it out that time, but no promises. Okay, so I'm going to leave this out of the way and hopefully still within sight so I don't forget. We'll see how that goes, huh? All right, so for the second card, I am doing... Let's see, what do I need to clean here? I need to clean a couple blocks really quick. Give me just half a second. There we go. All right, so for, well, I had it on both sides. That was talented, huh? All right, nice black tablecloth, right? Okay, so for tonight, for the other card, and this is the Create With Me part. This is by Monday. If you would like a $5 off for any in-person class or online class that you pay $15 or more for. So, let's see. So the basics of this one is the technique that you need to follow is that we're taking designer series paper and we're not doing the whole thing. We're just doing a border. And then we're taking the flip side or a skinny portion of it to create almost a ribbon kind of effect. And that is going to get everything ready to go for you. And let's see, what else? What else do we need to know about this? I think that's about it, right? I hope so. So, so I've got, let's see, I've got, let's go over the directions, huh? All right. So I've got my card base. This is at, oh my gosh, you guys. All right. So this is at 5.5 by 8.5, cut, or scored at, sorry, not cut, scored at 4.25. Valley side goes out. So we've got that going on. Okay. Then I have my overlay. We're not actually doing a mat. So the overlay, okay, is cut at 5.25 by 6.5. And you guessed it, scored at 3.25. And this is actually glued on like this. Kind of cool, right? So I'm doing my overlay instead of a mat. You are more than welcome to do a mat. Here's the pros and cons of this. It gives continuity because the front and back look similar. Here's the con. It's heavier when you mail it. So up to you on what you want to do. Okay? So let's see here. What else do I need? So I've got my scrap paper to do my punches. I've got my little piece to get my words on there. And then I've got my borders. And you're like, hey John, but in the sample there was stuff down here. Well, yeah, there is. I'm gonna trim it real quick off the borders. No problem. If you forget, guess what? You have the borders to kind of finagle, right? So I'm trying to think of the name of it. The border portion is 1.5 inches wide by 5 1/4. Okay. And then this piece here is 3 1/8 by 3/4 or 1/2 inch and 1/2 inch for the others. Okay. So let me go over this again. So the card base is, let's see, 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4. If you're looking for directions, there is no real mat unless you do it, but for the sample, it's 5 1/4 by 6.5, scored at 3 1/4 or halfway to get the overlay. Okay, and then both borders, this is the same piece of paper just flipped. Both borders are 1.5 by 5 1/4. And then this guy is 3 1/8 by 3/4. And these are 3 1/8 each by half. Okay? And then I've got my punches. Super easy in theory, right? So I'm going to take a tiny bit off of my border because I can, and I need 1/2 inch. So I'm just going to take my 1/2 inch off of here and it will be fine. No problem at all, unless I bend it coming off of the trimmer. All right, make sure it stays. Okay, and then the 1/2 inch is only 3 1/8, so I am going to trim down and not go through my other piece, just quickly, no problem. Okay, so there's one. My fingers are not picking up tonight. Not sure what's going on, but some nights it's better than others, isn't it? All right, so that's that. So how's everybody doing? Did you have dinner yet? What are you having for dinner, if you haven't already? Just curious, that's all. All right, so let's see. I'm gonna glue down wherever my Stampin' Seal went. I'm gonna glue down my mat here. What I would recommend is doing one side of it and then doing the other side, because that way you can scrunch it down here in the middle and then push, okay? And then as you're doing this, things shift a little, whatever, no problem. But that's going to allow you to shift with what you've done. There we go. So I'm gonna close this and get this down. Now you're saying, oh John, but you didn't. Yeah, I know, I just remembered, but it's okay. All right, so I am getting my border here, and evidently I'm going to lift this up a tiny bit and just sneak this under, right? Some days you can remember and other days you just don't, and it's okay. So I'm just gonna put this down here on the edge and get everything back going. And then this one, remember, you're gonna glue the opposite or the same side that's facing up, because you want it opposite of what you're doing. Just remember that, because I don't know how many times I've glued the same side and messed it up, we'll just say. One nice thing about the Stampin' Seal, until you actually stick it down, you can usually get it to maneuver a little or to stick back up. So kind of a cool product. All right, so there's my card. No harm, no foul, right? So I'm gonna grab my leaves and I'm stamping a quick background. My background paper is Cajun Craze. So I am grabbing my blocks, and you're like, but you only have one other block. Yeah, I do. So what I'm going to do is put one on one side, flip over, and put the other on the other side. Not a problem at all. We're going to overcome, right? Okay. So I am stamping my background, falling leaves, that kind of thing, right? And yes, I want it to just barely show up. So you can do one of two things if you want things to barely show up. You can either use a Versamark pad, or you can use the same color and it'll go just a touch darker, and that will allow you to have that same kind of look, but then the ink will dry. So for me, it's a better option, and I don't have to worry about sticking a stamp in the Versamark and possibly staining it, which I've never done before. So there's, so far so good, right? Okay, so that's what I have so far. Now, I am grabbing, oh my goodness, my thumb. I just stuck in the ink. You probably saw that, so I'm just gonna flip over as always, right? Just make it happen. All right, so I am grabbing and I am stamping towards the bottom edge because these are punches, okay? And I'm clearing off my, because I actually want different colors, believe it or not. So I'm doing Cajun Craze, I'm doing Early Espresso for my acorn. And I'm doing Mossy Meadow for my maple leaf, okay? So I am grabbing here. I've got my old olive out, trying to remember that I need to, guess what I need to do? I need to finish my palm trees when that dries, right? Okay, got it. Yes, that is what I need to do. Because if I don't keep reminding myself, it will be out the door. Yes. So, all right. So I've got my 3, and you're like, hey, they're not colored though. So I'm grabbing my blender pen, not blends. Don't confuse my alcohol markers with my blender pen. My blender pen is a glycerin-based pen. And what this will allow me to do is float my water-based ink, smear it for lack of better terms, and I can color my leaves real quick. Just scratch it off to clean it in between. Super easy. Super, super, super easy, super quick, which is what I like. I don't know about you. I do not have a lot of time to sit and be meticulous, mainly because I choose to not be, but you know, you know, my goal is like 20 cards instead of like 1 or 2. So I don't always have time to be super meticulous. And that is okay, because that's my choice. All right, so I'm grabbing my oak leaf punch, and I am punching out. If you don't like things flying up at you, then you're gonna put your thumb over that hole so your stuff doesn't go flying, okay? And then I'm grabbing my maple leaf. If you want to touch a red in that, real easy to do. I mean, we are talking fall, right? So if you want to touch a red in your maple leaf, I'm looking for my blender pen if you're wondering. So I'm grabbing my Cajun Craze, and where am I gonna? Right there. I'm grabbing my Cajun Craze and I'm grabbing my blender pen, and I'm gonna do a little bit of dip. And that's way too dark. I just want a hint to show that it's fall, right? So there we go. Okay. And then scratch it off until it comes clean. Not that the tip is not stained, but that it comes clean. So we've got that going. Get that cleaned off. Okay. And off and down on the other side. And then I'm going to bring back my card. Okay. I need to stamp my words first. That's what it was. That was the other thing. That's why I needed the long. Okay. All right. So, have a beautiful day is what we're doing. Did I cut it long enough? Just barely. Okay. So, a tip for you, and this was on the blog. So, for me, let me get my block. For me, I have a really hard time getting this straight. And I don't mean straight in the sense of on the block. I mean all the words completely straight because the photopolymer is very flexible. So sometimes it will, I have ink on there, it will bend a tiny bit. As you can see, my Hava is going up. So what I'm going to do instead is something I think is genius, but hey, you know, we each have our own, right? So on my grid paper, I'm going to line up my Have a Beautiful Day on my line so I know it's straight. And then I'm going to grab it with my block instead of trying to get my fingers on there. And then I'm going to stamp and ink. Kind of cool, right? Make sure not to rock, especially with the little ones. And there I have my Have a Beautiful Day. Kind of cool, right? Yay! Okay. So, close that up because who knows what tonight. And I am going to grab my Stampin' Seal and figure out where I want to start. Right about there. Right about where my top of my acorn is. So I'm going to grab this and lay this across. And there's one layer. Now remember, we're doing opposite, so we want to make sure that we glue on the opposite side. I know, easier said than done, and you're thinking, oh my gosh, John, that's so easy. Why are you even saying that? Because I don't know how many times I've done Christmas cards or something major and had it happen to me. So that's why I'm telling you what I'm telling you. So, and then my Have a Beautiful Day is going to overlap here. So far so good, right? Okay, so now I am grabbing my 3 and I'm grabbing my mini dimensionals. Now, if you don't have the mini dimensionals, you can cut your regular dimensionals in half and they'll work. But honestly, I like that they're already done for me because, well, I already told you, I'm always trying to do quick, right? So that's the why. Okay. So I am grabbing my leaves in my acorn and I'm making my border decorations. If you want to put bling across here, where's Lisa? We can do that, but there is my gorgeous card. So I have a question for you. Do you like the Old Olive or do you like the Cajun Craze one better? Just curious. Let me know. I'm always just curious. All right, so now I'm going to come back to this guy. It's dry. Thank heavens. So how you'll know this, how you'll know it's dry, it's not if it flattens out. It's not if it feels dry to the touch on the front. It's if you go in the back and go in the middle and it doesn't feel cool at all to the touch. That's how you know when it's actually really, really, really dry. Okay, so I'm going to stamp my palm trees in that. If you want a more watercolor look for the palm trees, guess what you can do? You can wait till it's partially dry and not to worry, right? And you can have it more watercolored. Up to you on what you want to do. Okay? And then I'm grabbing my dimensionals. If you don't want to mess with a whole bunch of dots, you can also use the foam adhesive strips, if I could remember the name of them, that we also use for shaker cards. But this is what I had within reach, so a lot of times it's what I have within reach, so I don't have to get up again. We're running the marathon, not the sprint, so sometimes it's just what's close, right? So there we go. There's our landscape. Okay. So we've got our, and see how different it is? So I stamped this one with when it was like half wet still. So you can see, especially down here when where it was heavier, you can see how my trunks are a little wavy compared to that one. Okay? So, yeah, definitely. Does it have to be designer paper in this catalog? Well, of course I'd prefer it, but no, of course not. So, let's see. Do I have any other questions? Cajun. Yeah, I like it too, but hey, you know, we got to start with something, right? So, alrighty. So for tonight, these are the 4 cards that were created. But before we go, I want to share something with you. So the stamp of the week is this week. So stamp of the week means if you purchase the Beautiful Autumn Cling Stamp Set. Oh, bye, honey. See you later. Catch me on the replay because I have a couple more things. So, stamp of the week is happening this week through Saturday. If you would like to order your stamp of the week, you get the Beautiful Autumn Stamp Set plus the materials, instructions, and videos for these 3 projects, okay? And I have to say, one of them I had help with, thankfully. Joel's my engineer mind. So, not with this one though. I'll show you. But, so, it's $30 for option 1. It's $65 for option 2, which is the bundle. So, that would be the punches as well as the stamp set. And then, option 3, which is only for my team, is $15, and that's the materials only, because I'm assuming you're ordering on your own. So, this is the first card for the stamp of the week. This is the second card. We've got our little acorn embellishment down here, and these are all the leaves done in a leaf format with the ribbon you'll also get. And look here, a little acorn with the blender. This is done with the blender. A couple stamps here. So this is the one that is my complicated one. So it comes with a custom envelope that you're going to assemble. But look at this. This is fun, right? So this is called the Never Ending Card. Guess why? Because you fold it like this and you fold it like this, and that's the second face, right? And then you fold it like this and you fold it like this, and that's the third face. And then you fold it like this and you fold it like this, and that's the last face. Or front, whatever. And then, hey, look, here's another, and here we go around again. Hence the never ending card. It's kind of like one of those what is it, the Chinese fortune teller or whatever those were called. So that is the stamp of the week. If you'd like to order, you have until Saturday night to tell me, and it's 30 for the stamp set, 65 with the materials and both shipped, or 65 for the bundle, or 15 for my team. So I will leave you with these gorgeous creations from tonight, and thank you for joining me. Make sure to follow me, stampingwithjohnny.com. Thanks so much. Have a great night. Bye-bye.